Hi guys, this is Vysh from Vysh and we are going to do chapter number 18 of Ancient History from R.S. Sharma, and this is about the craft, trade and town of the post-Mauryan age. Okay, so it's very important, and there are a lot of place names mentioned here and can be confusing if you see an actual question of the UPSC prelims. Okay, so try to pay attention, pause when required and make notes. And the test series is already launched. I am going to give the link in the description box. Those who have not seen it, please watch it. And I know you have been asking for MCQ subject wise and all, so we used to give subject wise, but many wanted it as a package. That is why we launched it as a package. Okay, so try to get the entire thing. About 36 sets are there with every topic covered. Okay, there's nothing missed for GS prelims paper number 1, and you have to clear prelims this time, so please try to get the best quality MCQs. Anyway, sample questions you can see a lot of any video you play in my playlist. Everywhere I'm showing sample MCQs here and there of different subjects, so try to get the MCQs as soon as possible. Okay, because after 2 weeks I'm going to hike the price. Okay, so please, the serious aspirants at least who are regularly following me, I want at least them to get it. Almost many students have already got it, but I want the rest of the people also to get it soon. Okay, at the lower price. I don't want them to simply spend more for the same content. Okay, so let's begin chapter number 18. Craft, trade and town in the post-Mauryan age. So the craft, the age of the Sakas, Kushanas, Satavahanas, that is 200 BC, 200 AD, and the first Tamil states, and the first Tamil states was the most flourishing period in the history of craft and commerce. Okay, they are telling this age, that is 200 BC, 200 AD, is the most flourishing period in terms of trade and commerce. Okay, we do not come across so many kind of artisans in the earlier text as mentioned in the writings of this period. The Digha Nikaya, I have told you what is this. Try to tell in comment section. This is covered in the previous chapters. Okay, Digha Nikaya, which belongs to the pre-Mauryan times, mentions about 24 occupations, but the Mahavastu, this also has been covered. Mahavastu, which belongs to this period, catalogs 36 kinds of workers living in the town of Rajgir, and the list is not exhaustive. The Milinda Panno, or the questions of Milinda, enumerates as many as 75 occupations, 60 of which are connected with various kinds of craft. So if you see these three books, Digha Nikaya, Mahavastu, Milinda Panno, all three were covered in 3 separate chapters. So if you are a serious student, you would be knowing what is this clearly. You would not even have a doubt. Okay, so please watch all my videos in order. Then craftsmen are mostly associated with towns in literary text, but some excavations show that they also inhabited villages. In a village settlement in Karimnagar in Telangana, carpenters, blacksmiths, goldsmiths, potters, etc. lived in separate quarters, and agricultural and other laborers lived at one end. 8 crafts were associated with the working of gold, silver, lead, tin, copper, brass, iron and precious stones as well. So there were craftsmen related to almost every kind of mineral. Various kinds of brass, zinc, antimony and red arsenic were also mentioned. All this shows great advance and specialization in mining and metallurgy. Technological advance about the work of iron had made great progress. Iron artifacts have been discovered in greater numbers in Kushana and Satavahana. So if you see the post-Mauryan thing, they were highly advanced and they know the mining process of all these minerals. But the Telangana region of Andhra seems to have made special progress in iron manufacture. In addition to weapons, balance rods, socketed axes and horse sickles, plowshares, razors and ladles have been discovered in the Karimnagar or Nalgonda districts of this region. Those is in the Telangana, Tamil Nadu, that kind of region. These many things, okay, all kind of weapons or swords or agricultural related tools, everything is discovered. Indian iron and steel, including cutlery, were exported to the Abyssinian port. Where is Abyssinian? Try to Google it. Abyssinian is the region near the Ethiopia, present day Ethiopia, you can tell that is the Abyssinian ports. And when they enjoyed great prestige in Western Asia. Cloth making, silk weaving and the making of arms and luxury articles also made progress. Mathura was a great center for the manufacture of special type of cloth which was called sataka. Okay, again a term, sataka. They will ask like this only, sataka in post-Mauryan age refers to what, and they will give all these kind of things like cloth, silk, or what to say, jewelry, bangles. They'll give something which is there, like from same textbook they'll pick up words and you will get confused. Okay, so try to register this in your mind. Sataka means a special type of cloth which was made in Mathura. Dyeing was a thriving craft in some South Indian towns. A brick built dyeing vat has been unearthed at Urayur. Urayur is again a Chola port, okay, a suburb of the Tiruchirappalli town in the Tamil Nadu. Similar dyeing vats were excavated at Arikamedu. Okay, Arikamedu is again an important port. Try to find out where it is in the Indian map. These structures belong to the 1st to 3rd century AD, during which handloom textile industry flourished in these towns. The manufacture of oil increased because of the use of oil wheel. The inscriptions of the period mention weavers, goldsmiths, dyers, workers, metal. They are repeating again same thing. Okay, they have lot of minerals, they have lot of occupations, and the 3 books sources I told you already. And Urayur and Arkimedu are 2 important ports. So these are the takeaway. That is how you should revise. It's not like you have to read the whole thing again and again. Just focus on the keywords and your revision will be done. And also solve MCQs, because MCQs can be tricky. So again, ivory, they are mentioning luxury articles ivory. This is a map of that timeline. So a lot of quotes are there. Try to pause this and watch it, because if I start explaining, it will take a lot of time. Okay, so try to pause it and see all the important places. Even Arikamedo will be there in that particular map. Glass manufacture, bead making. So I think there is not an occupation missed. So it's easy for you when prelims question comes, because almost everything is there. Okay. Many products of these crafts have been found as a result of digging in the Kushana complexes. Indian ivories have been found in Afghanistan and Rome. They were linked to ivory objects found in excavations in Satavahana seat in the Deccan. Roman glass objects appear in Textila and in Afghanistan. But it was about the beginning of the Christian era that the knowledge of glass blowing reached India. So glass blowing technique reached in the AD. Okay, that is the beginning of the Christian era. And attained its peak. Similarly, large number of beads of semi-precious stones appear in the post-Mauryan layers. Coin minting was also an important craft. Period is noted for numerous types of coins. So gold, silver, copper, bronze, every kind of coins are there. The craftsmen also made fake Roman coins. Okay, so this faking thing is there in the blood of Indians from that time also. Okay, faking things. So various coin molds belonging to the period have been found both in North India and in the Deccan. A coin mold from the Satavahana level shows that through it half a dozen coins could be turned out at a time. So they are telling about that capacity, how much they can do in how much time and all. These urban handicrafts were supplemented by the manufacture of beautiful pieces of terracotta, which are found in profuse quantities. So a lot of terracotta figurines also, they have been found at almost all Kushana and Satavahana sites. Okay, so it's a common phenomenon, but special mention may be made of Yelleshwaram in Nalgonda district, where we find the largest number of terracottas and the molds in which they are manufactured. The history option students should know all these things. Okay, any place what it is related to. So the Yelleshwaram at Nalgonda district, we can find largest number of terracottas and molds in which they were manufactured. Okay, terracotta figurines, Yelleshwaram. Okay, so where were we? Give me a second. Okay. Then here, terracottas and their molds have been found at Kondapur at a distance of about 65 km from Hyderabad. So again, South India Deccan region. Okay, Kondapur, they have terracotta figures. The terracottas were meant mostly for the use of upper classes in towns. It is significant that with the decline of town in Gupta, and especially in the post-Gupta times, such terracotta almost went out of fashion. Gupta, post-Gupta will come in the next chapters. Okay, don't worry. Artisans were organized into guilds, and in the 2nd century AD in Maharashtra, lay devotees of Buddhism deposited money with the guilds of potters. Guilds is like a group of merchants, group of potters. Anything which is in a group is called guild. Okay, and these people were, all these jobs are again mentioning. In the same century, money was deposited by a chief with the guild of floor makers at Mathura out of the monthly income, of which 100 Brahmins were to be served daily. On the basis of different texts, we can say that artisans of the period were organized into at least 24 guilds. Most artisans known from inscriptions were confined to the Mathura region and to the western Deccan, which lay on the trade routes leading to the ports on the western coast. The most important economic development of the period was the thriving trade between India and the Eastern Roman Empire. In the beginning, a good deal of this trade was carried on by land, but the movement of the Sakas, Parthis and Kushanas from the 1st century BC disrupted trade by land route. Okay, so there was trade between the Eastern Roman Empire and India, but these people, you know, these external people, they came through that land route, right? So all that were in their control, and so local people could not do trade through that route now, because it's under control of these people. Okay. Then, but the 1st century AD, you know what will happen? The monsoon will be discovered. When monsoon is discovered, the sea route is discovered. The sea route is discovered means ships can come in according to season and then enter into India and do the trade. Okay, so that is what is explained here. Time is saved and all. They could call easily at the various ports. Okay, now important ports are Bharuch and Sopara, situated on the western coast of India. That map which was there it will be there. Okay, try to find out these places in order. History optional students have to definitely know the location of each and every place mentioned in every textbook. Okay, any textbook, ancient, medieval, modern, every place you should know at least 2-line description about it, because there is a 50-mark map question in every history optional paper, and it's a mandatory question also, you cannot skip it. So to it were brought not only the commodities produced in the Satavahana kingdom, but also the goods produced in the Saka and Kushana kingdom. The Sakas and the Kushanas used 2 routes from the northwestern frontier to the western sea coast. Okay, Saka and Kushana used 2 routes from the northwestern frontier to the western sea coast. Both these routes converged at Textila. So Textila is a meeting point. I think UPSC have asked this question 2 years back. You should know this. The Sakas and Kushanas used 2 routes from the northwestern frontier to the western sea coast. Both these routes converged at Textila, and Textila is near Gandhar, and that is the present-day Pakistan, and were connected with the Silk Road passing through Central Asia. So Textila is the meeting point. Now Why I am repeating this 2-3 times? Because there is one more meeting point which you will learn in the next paragraph. Okay, this is about Shakas and Kushanas. The first route directly ran from the north to the south, connecting Textila with the lower Indus basin, where it was passed on to the Bharuch. The second route, called the Uttarapata, was in more frequent use. Okay, so one is from north to south, that is Textila to Bharuch. Okay, like this, north to south. Another will be west to east, that I will tell you, that is Uttarapata. It is actually from the modern Punjab up to the western coast of the Yamuna. Okay, so it's like I think more details will be there in the next page. Following the, just also try to pause and see. Okay, this map is very important. Here if you see, this is Textila. Okay, so Shakas and Kushana meeting point is here, and here Mathura, Ujjain, Bharuch, all these things are there. So this Textila to Bharuch, one route is there, and one Uttarapata will be there, which is horizontal like this. So that will be from Punjab to the western Yamuna. Okay, that will see more details now. Try to pause and see, I don't want to waste time there. And here from Mathura it passed on to the Ujjain in Malwa, and again from Ujjain to Bharuch. Okay, try to see that in map again. Mathura it passed to Ujjain in Malwa, and again from Ujjain to Bharuch. Here Mathura, Ujjain, Bharuch. Okay, these connectivity they are talking about. And Ujjain was the meeting point of another route which started from Kaushambi near Allahabad. So Ujjain is another general meeting point between that north and south, but the Shaka Kusana meeting point was at Textila. Both of things UPSC can take and pick up and confuse you. They have already done it. Okay. Foreign trade. Although the volume of trade between India and the Rome seems to have been large, it was not carried on in articles of daily or common use. There was a brisk commerce in luxury goods, not in the articles of day-to-day use. Sorry, brisk commerce in luxury goods, not in the articles of day-to-day use. The luxury goods were traded. The Romans first started trade with the southernmost portion of the country, because their earliest coins have been found in the Tamil kingdoms. You have already seen this in the Chola era story. Okay, Romans had a huge trade relation with them, and lay down the Satavahana. Okay, below the Satavahana it is. The Romans mainly imported spices, for which South Indians was famous. Okay, they also imported muslin, pearls, jewels and precious stones from Central and South India. Iron goods, especially cutlery, formed an important item of export to the Roman Empire. In addition to the articles directly supplied by India, certain articles were brought to India from Central Asia and China, and then sent to the eastern part of the Roman Empire. So it's like not like only producing things from here is exported. They will take items from China and then sell it to Romans also. That also used to be done by Indians. Silk was directly sent from China to Roman Empire through Silk Road, passing through North Afghanistan and Iran. But the establishment of the Parthian rule in Iran and the neighboring areas created difficulties. Therefore, silk had to be diverted to the West Indian ports through the northwestern part of the subcontinent. So that is the story. China, usually they would trade through the Silk Route directly to Roman Empire. But what happened? The Parthian region, the Bactrian region, all were occupied by Central Asian powers, and that is why China could not directly do the trade with Roman Empire. So they will give it to South India, and South India will give it to these people, the Roman. That is the story. Now sometimes it also found its way from China to India via the east coast of India. Okay, not only directly west coast, east coast also it will go. From there it went to the west, and thus there was a considerable transit trade in silk between India and Roman Empire. So okay, so the trade is like a long chain from China, either directly, or from China go to the west and go to Roman, or China go to east, then go to west, and then to Roman. Okay, three paths they have explained. In return, the Romans exported to India wine, amphorae, and various other types of pottery. So wine pottery, just remember that, which has been discovered in excavations at Tamluk in West Bengal. Again important, Tamluk is in West Bengal, and Arikamedu near Pondicherry. Okay, so it's again in Tamil Nadu. So Tamluk in West Bengal, Arikamedu near Pondicherry, two places. Sometimes they travelled as far as Guwahati also. Lead, which was used for making coins by the Satavahanas, seems to have been imported from the Rome. Okay, so the lead which was used for making the coins were imported from the Rome. Okay, then only they made coins, the Satavahana kings. The Roman goods have not been discovered in any good number in North India. So North India there is no much examples. Okay, only in South India, the Deccan regions and the Chola, Chera, Pandya and all, lot of Roman related items are found. But there is no doubt that under the Kushans, the northwestern part of the subcontinent in the 2nd century AD carried on trade with the eastern part of the Roman Empire. So they're telling Kushanas who were in the northern, like in the Kashmir region and all, they also had trade with Roman, but no clear proof has been found. This was facilitated by the Roman conquest of Mesopotamia, which was made a Roman province in AD 115. The Roman Emperor Trajan not only conquered Muscat, but also explored the Persian Gulf. So they're telling a lot of good things about Roman Empire, like they had a region in Mesopotamia, they had a region in Persian Gulf, they also attacked the Muscat. So entire place was with Romans, and that is why India had close trade relations with them. As a result of trade and conquest, the Roman objects reached Afghanistan and northwestern India. At Begram, 72 km north of Kabul, large glass jars made in Italy, Egypt and Syria have come to light. We also find there bowls, bronze stands, steel yards, weights of Western origin, Greco-Roman bronze statues of small size, jugs and other vessels made of alabaster. Okay, I don't think you need to read all this. It's like just understand that cutlery, glass, steel, Italy, Egypt, Syria, all these countries had items which were seen in India. Okay, everything was discovered in India, and it had a great trade relation, because it's like waste of time if you go and try to remember all these kind of bowls and weapons and coins and all those things. Just remember almost everything is there. Okay, they had a rich, flourishing trade. Evidently, these places did not receive popular Western articles, which have been found mostly south of the Vindhyans in the Satavahana kingdom and further south. Thus, the kingdom of both the Satavahanas as well as the Kushans profited from the trade with the Roman Empire, although the maximum profit seems to have occurred to the Satavahanas. Okay, so they're telling maximum profit was received by Satavahana. So it's like a trade surplus. Okay, in economy you will be learning, right? Balance of payment and also trade surplus it was for India at that time. India was a very rich country with a very huge GDP also. Later, even at the time of medieval India, in the Mughal rule and all, India had a huge GDP. Okay, then only when Britishers will come, everything will be spoiled and India will be left to ruins. Okay, try to hear Satish Shashi Tharoor's speeches. Okay. The most significant Roman export to India was the large number of coins invariably made of gold and silver. About 85 finds of Roman coins have come to light in the whole of the subcontinent. Most of them come from the south of the Vindhyans. This justifies the complaint of the Roman writer Pliny. Okay, he's a Roman writer. He'll keep on complaining each and everything. So he wrote something called Natural History in Latin in AD 77. He bewails that Rome was being drained of gold on account of her trade with India. This may be exaggeration, but as early as AD 22, we hear of complaints against excessive expenditure on the purchase of pepper from the east. Since the Westerners were very much fond of Indian pepper, it is called Yavana Priya. So Yavanika, I think I taught you already, Yavanika was that curtains used in Indian theatre, and Yavana Priya is pepper. Okay, because Yavana is a term used for foreigners, and Priya means they like it. So foreigners like something, that is the pepper. Okay, Yavana Priya. There also began a strong reaction against the use of Indian made steel cutlery, for which the Roman nobles paid very high prices. The balance of trade was so much in favor of India that eventually steps had to be taken in Rome to ban Rome's trade with India in pepper and steel goods. So how did the Indians use the silver and gold currency which came to India? Okay, so they had got a lot of coins, right? So what did the Indians do with it? Actually, they were not bothered about the money value, the denomination. They were valuing the intrinsic value, the gold value, the amount of weight of gold. That is what they cared. That's what is being explained everywhere. Okay, here entire thing. Kushanas, Indo-Greek, issued gold coins. All these stories we have covered already, so I am not repeating it. Now these are certain gold sources here, like gold mines in Sindh there. Then Kushans got it from Central Asia, and I think in Bihar also here. Dalbum is actually in South Bihar. Okay, maybe present day Jharkhand. There also gold mines are there, so you should know this. Okay, Sindh it's there, Dalmun is there. So India is a very rich country with lot of resources. That is what they are trying to explain here. On account of contact with Rome, the Kushans issued a dinar type of gold coins. Okay, dinar type of gold coins because they had interaction with Rome in the Middle East. But gold coins may not have been used in the day-to-day transactions, which were carried on in coins of lead. Okay, so day-to-day transactions happening in lead or copper coins only, but they had all these kind of gold coins also, every kind of coins. Both lead and copper deposits are found in Andhra. The Andhras issued a large number of lead or coins or pottery coins in the Deccan, and the Kushans issued the largest number of copper coins. Okay, so Kushans is the one who will be issuing the largest number of copper coins also, and I think gold coins also at that time. Later when Gupta comes, I think it will again increase. Copper and bronze coins were also used in large quantities by the rulers of some indigenous dynasties such as the Nagas, who ruled in central India, the Yaudhayas, who ruled in eastern Rajasthan, together with the adjacent areas of Haryana, Punjab and all. So here don't remember all these things, but remember this thing. Yaudhayas is the class of people who ruled in eastern Rajasthan. Okay, Yaudhayas, eastern Rajasthan. Because match the following question will come. Urban settlement. The growing craft and commerce and the increasing use of money promoted the prosperity of numerous towns during the period. Important towns in India, I am not reading it out, lot of names are given, all these names, okay, in the North India, Ganga belt, all these regions they are given. All are mentioned in literary text, and some of them are also described by the Chinese pilgrims. Most towns flourished in the Kushan period in the 1st and 2nd centuries AD. This may be said on the basis of terracotta figure, try to see the picture. This may be said on the basis of excavations which have been revealed better structures belonging to the Kushan age. Okay, see this picture, it is a remain of a stadium. Okay, stadium at Nagarjuna Konda. Nagarjuna Konda is somewhere in the Andhra region, so you should know there was a stadium ruins. Okay, so UPSC will make questions out of this also. The stadium was recovered in the post-Mauryan age, in which place? Okay, it is Nagarjuna Konda. Okay, and excavations further show that Several sites in Bihar, such as Chirand, Sonpur and Buxar, and Mason and Ghazipur in eastern Uttar Pradesh, witnessed prosperous Kushan phase. Similarly, in Uttar Pradesh, Sogpura, Bitha, Kausambi, don't remember all these places. Many things were discovered, excavations were there, and then 7 levels of Kushan phase is found here. Okay, in Sonk in Mathura, 7 levels of Kushana phase is there, and one of the Gupta phase is also there. These are all only history option. Students may go into detail. Okay, you can pause this slide and you can detailedly go through each of these places, but others, no questions will come, that is my guarantee. Okay, so in many cases of the Gupta period had poorly built structures made of used Kushan bricks. Okay, so in Gupta period also they are telling poorly built structures of Kushan bricks are found. On the whole, the material remains as cribable to the Kushan phase, display urbanization. So again telling about the urban lifestyle is there. Okay, brick houses and all those things. The most important note is Ujjain. Ujjain you should know because of various reasons. Even the Kumbh Mela, I think one site is Ujjain, there is a river called Shipra river. Okay, that's also important in Ujjain. So match the following question will come 4 locations of Kumbh Mela, and against them they will give 4 rivers. I am expecting a question of that sort in this prelims. Okay, 2018. So try to find out the 4 river names. It's already there in our MCQ PDF, try to get that. Because of it being the nodal point of 2 routes. Okay, Ujjain I told you it was a nodal point, it was a connecting point of 2 routes. Okay, Taxila and Ujjain. So Kasambi and other from Mathura, but it was also important because of its export of agate and carnelian stones. Excavations show that agate, jasper, carnelian, many kind of stones, okay, they were there, and large scale of manufacture beads after 200 BC. This was possible because of the raw material could be obtained in plenty from the trap bedrock in the bed of the Shipra river. I already told you Shipra river was there in Ujjain, and there in the river bed you can find lot of these kind of stones, agate, jasper, carnelian and all, and so export was flourishing in Ujjain. Towns thrived in the Satavahana kingdom during the same period as they did under the Shakas and Kushanas. And again, lot of places, don't remember at all, but try to see that map. Okay, just the locations, try to understand where it is, don't by heart the names. Several Satavahana settlements, some of which may be identical with the 30-walled town of the Andhras mentioned by Pliny, that Roman writer. He's mentioned about some 30-walled towns and all. So it has been excavated in Telangana region. They had originated, so this also Telangana region. Okay, now don't think like Telangana is a new state, then how come ancient history things are being mentioned? Telangana is a region within that Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so that is why Telangana region is already mentioned in ancient history. So they had originated much earlier than towns in coastal Andhra, although not much later than the towns in western Maharashtra. But the decline of towns in Maharashtra, Andhra and Tamil Nadu generally took place from the 3rd century AD onwards. So it's all telling about the decline now. Okay, by 3rd century, 4th century, things are getting declined. After a flourishing society, trade, urban life, everything, by 4th century they are declining. Towns prospered in the Kushan and Satavahana empires because they carried on thriving trade with the Roman Empire. The country traded with the eastern part of the Roman Empire as well as with Central Asia. Towns in Punjab and western Uttar Pradesh thrived because the center of Kushan power lay in northwestern India. Most Kushan towns in India lay exactly on the northwestern or Uttarapata. Uttarapata I told you from that Punjab to Mathura. Okay, route passing from Mathura to Texila. Again is Mathura to Texila. Mathura is in the eastern side, Texila is in the western side, and Texila was the meeting point of Sakas and Kushanas. Okay, Texila. The Kushan Empire ensured security on the routes. Because Kushan had that control over the Silk Route also, so they ensured the security on the routes. Its end in the 3rd century AD dealt a great blow to these towns. The same thing seems to have happened in the Deccan. With the ban on trade with India imposed by the Roman Empire from the 3rd century AD, towns could not support the artisans and merchants who lived there. Archaeological excavations in the Deccan also show the decline in the urban settlements after the Satavahana phase. So it is all telling about the decline of all these things. In the north also trade and the Kushanas declined, so the entire kingdom is declined, and the south also trade was banned by the Roman Empire, and that is why it was declining. Now we'll see some MCQs. You can pause and see that questions which was already there at the end of that chapter, but MCQs are more important. So once the monsoons were discovered in 1st century AD, the trade flourished between Deccan and South India with the west. The most flourished ones among the Indian ports were which one? You have to tell me which was the most flourished port. I have told this in the chapter itself, the lecture. Okay, so if you see, you can trust my quality of MCQs. Okay, many people keep coming and asking like, what is the guarantee your questions are of UPSC standard? What is the guarantee that it is picked from here, it is picked from there? So those students I am tired of answering, so that is why I am picking up questions and even pausing few seconds here. Okay, so please don't ask questions without even asking the without even seeing the videos or doing the basic things which has to be done by a serious UPSC aspirant. Okay, please work hard. It's not like everything will be spoon fed to you. Please work hard. Only those who work hard will clear the prelims, and that is a word from me which cannot be changed. Any serious aspirant, any lecturer, any educator you go and contact, they will tell you the same thing. If you think like everything will come to you in your home and everything will be delivered to you by just paying some money, that is not going to work. Only people who work hard every day in a disciplined way, they will be clearing the prelims this time. Okay, so try to answer this question. Second question, which was the meeting point of two important land trade routes with Romans in ancient India. Okay, so again a question which I have been repeatedly telling, because UPSC have already asked question on this. So please, all the CS aspirants, try answering this. I'm showing only 2 questions now, because I have seen many students are taking advantage of this thing also. Like they are saying that 3 questions in every lecture, so they are thinking like, okay, 80-90 questions, I'll get it easily like this. So I'm not going to help those people anymore. Only those students who are willing to study, willing to pay for the actual good quality content, such people should learn from me. Okay, so we entertain only serious aspirants. So please see the link in the description box below. I'll come up with the next lecture soon. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.